Hey guys, happy Valentine's Day. Figured I would make a quick video of how to work with forms. I've had a lot of people ask me. Personally, I do not work with them often. I know how, but I don't know, I just don't like to. Just because I feel like when you put the nail on, etc., I just feel like it holds better. Um, but I'm going to teach you guys how to place a form. Now, you're going to rip the bottom part right here at the bottom, okay? And you're going to take the nail and you're going to make sure it's placed up and under the nail. And now, you got to make sure that it's dead center, middle. And what you're going to do is I'll probably do a stiletto. You're going to take this and you're going to bend it. And you're going to make sure that it's fit perfectly around the finger. So you want to take it. It's so different when you're not working on a real human being. But we're going to do this. I'm going to place it up and under here. Make sure that it's centered. You don't want a crooked nail. This finger is so small, it's a lot different to work with. So that's how you're going to place it onto the nail. You can just pinch it here, fold it, just whatever you prefer, whatever you feel is best, do it, This, okay, hold on, guys. Okay, so I got my form on the nail, and, I'm going to do a stiletto. I love stiletto nails. I don't know. I just think they're so pretty. And now you're going to have to build your apex. Now you can do the 3-step method like I said in my other video. For beginners of people that don't really know how to lay acrylic. Now you're going to wet your brush and make sure it's good and wet and barely dab it to the side. You don't need to apply pressure whenever you're doing this. And now watch how I'm going to do this in my acrylic. I'm just going to bounce it like that right there. You can wait a couple seconds for your bead to get wet, and then I'm going to place this right here, right in the middle of this nail, because I want to build right here. Make sure that I have, my center or whatever. And I always go up along the sides and fix your shape, because, a stiletto comes to a point. So you're going to want to make sure that whenever you're using these forms that you're doing that. Personally, me, I just take it like this. I don't know why I'm shaking, guys. I have not a clue. But that's fine too. I'm going to take it, bring it to a point. These nails are so small, the nail bed. It's just so different to work with, but nothing major, just. And using nail forms is a lot different than a nail, because a nail you can just put on there, you're good to go. A nail form is totally different. And, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but when you're working on a nail, I always make sure that it's to a point. I always make sure you're pointing downward. And what that does is it will move your acrylic down the nail. It'll kind of just flow, It'll flow and it'll just go on down. Just make sure that you're taking each side and straightening it up because these will, now you see how I'm taking that and I'm just bringing it upward. Now I'm going to cut this off about right here. I'm going to cut it off about right there, just for the simple fact that you don't want to make it too much to a point because it's going to be too thin. It's just going to break right off. Like I said, I don't work with these. I don't use forms. Some people do, and some people actually like the forms better than actually, using a nail. Me personally, no. I like to just use the nails. It's a lot quicker, easier. And then, when you have a form like this, you have to build your structure. So it's a lot different than just having a nail that you could just stick on there and feel it, So, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to slowly bring it down. You can go around the cuticle and you could straighten it up, make sure it's good and straight. I've had a lot of people say, why ain't my, acrylic working well? Why is it so chunky? And guys, it gets chunky like that due to the fact that you are not wetting your brush enough. You're not getting it wet enough. If you put a dry bead on there, it's going to be chunky and look horrible. You got to make sure that when you pick up acrylic that you got a wet bead. You want a wet bead because, when you have a wet bead, you can kind of just go with the flow and see, just pull it right on up there. I mean, and using a dry bead like that will make it chunky looking and it just looks horrible. You just want to make sure you're taking your sides and evening them out and making sure they're good and neat and they flow with the nail. You don't want your sides to be like big and wide and, So I'm just going to take this and just sort of pat it. Then bring the sides back upward because I want to build an apex. Now, if I was doing this on a real, actual person, I would take my primer, my dehydrator, and apply it to the nail first. And then I would apply the form and then, work on the form. But being this is not a real nail or person, I don't need to do that, Guys, for real, I always use primer and dehydrator because that's really what's going to help your nail stay on. If you don't have primer and dehydrator, then it's not going to stay as good. I'm sorry, I probably went out of the way. Okay, and now I'm going to take just a little dab, put it right here at my cuticle, start from the front and moving backwards. Never start from the back like here and then try to flatten it. I always start from the front at kind of an angle and just move it, pat it. Because when you start there, what's going to happen is your nail is going to be chunky at the cuticle. Like I was saying before, it's going to move all that acrylic to the cuticle. You do not want that. That looks so bad. And you could turn your nail to the side and make sure that you have got your apex built. There's many ways of doing it. It's just whatever you prefer. Okay. I like to clean my brush really well after each acrylic application, because you want to always make sure that your brushes are good and clean. That way, you're not leaving acrylic and it don't ruin your brush. I've had a lot of people say, my brush is like got pieces of acrylic in it and it's losing its shape and etc. Well, that's probably because you're getting too dry of a bead, or you're not using the acrylic properly, you're not cleaning it good enough. There's so many things that it could be. So guys, what I'm going to do is I am going to let this dry on this nail, and then I will be back, and then we're going to shape it and take the form off, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So when this dries, I will be right back. So guys, I have took off the form, and this is what the nail looks like. So now I'm going to take my file. I use the Beauty Secrets nail file. I use 100 to 180 grit. These are washable. You can wash them, etc. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my normal filing routine. I'm going to take the nail. You need to support the nail always. So this is how you're going to hold your client's hand. You want to go in with a straight angle, and you're going to file the nail. Just like this right here. Make sure you get the side walls and stuff good. You want to make sure that it's nice and neat. I'm going to have to cut. Kind of get under that nail. Make sure I get my side walls good. And they're good and straight. Just that nail. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my E-file and my little sanding bed, and I'm going to turn this on, and I don't need a lot. I don't need it real high because, I didn't make a lot of mistakes. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to work up and down on this nail. You can also take your E-file and move along the sides of the nail and kind of shape it, Of course, if this was a real person, I would be a lot easier, but it's not, so I kind of just do it however. And guys, listen, I've had so many people tell me and ask me, why does it, I went and got my nails done, why does it burn? That's because they're staying in one place too long. Work around, if you have a place that needs filed and you've been there for a second and it's not filed down enough, then you're going to move and go to another part of the nail. Kind of just go all around. Don't stay in one place like that, because it can burn your client and it really hurts. Like I'm talking hurts, because I've had the same thing done, you know, and it burns, like it really hurts. It's no fun. So don't, you know, when you're working with someone, don't stay in one place too long, because you can burn them. Okay, so and I always hold it. I always hold this close. That way you have full control over your e-file. Because what happens, see, when you work side to side like this, it can go around. And you don't want that to happen, you know. So I always go like up and down the nail like this right here. And that'll keep it really leveled and make it look, you know, good and etc. Okay, guys, so this is my nail. Pretty much a finished product, whatever you want to say. I'm done. And that is my nail using a nail form. And yes, this is very pointy because I feel like if you're doing a stiletto nail, like, you need it to be pointy. You know, there's, you know, I've seen a lot of stiletto nails to where there's not really a point like this. You want that sharp point. That's the whole point in a stiletto nail. Let me see. There we go. I got it to focus. See, guys? You got your little apex. Of course, if this was a real person, it would be completely different. But, you know, it's not. This is what I have to work with, guys. And so that is the nail using a nail form. That is the stiletto nail. And that's how I do it. You know, we all do it different. You know, some may do it a lot different than I do. You know, they may do it completely and totally different, which is fine. We all, you know, do it in our own way. But this is my stiletto nail. And guys, if you have any questions or want me to do any more videos or anything like that, just let me know and comment and whatnot. Have a good Valentine's Day. Love y'all. Bye.